Hey you guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be giving you guys part 2 of things I wish I knew before becoming a realtor. I have officially passed the 2-year mark, and after thinking about it, there's some more things that I wish I would have known, and there's some more things that have come up. So I wanted to go ahead and share that with you guys. Okay, one of the first things is actually kind of like a story time, and it's actually really embarrassing. So for the majority, people already know that it's a federal offense to put things in people's mailbox. I was not part of the majority. So when my mentors and everybody was saying, you know, go door to door, do door hangers, and or send postcards, I thought like, okay, well, if I don't want to pay for the stamps and I just want to, you know, go out and put the postcards out myself, since I already have time, I'll just drive around and I'll go ahead and put it in people's mailbox. But I did not know that you absolutely have to put it at the door. Don't be like me. That's why they say door hangers and go to door, because they want you to knock on the door, or they want you to at least put it on the door handle. You absolutely cannot put it in their mailbox. And for a lot of people, they already knew that. For the majority, they already knew that only USPS people can put it in the mailbox. I, on the other hand, did not know that. I thought as long as I'm not, you know, stealing or anything like that, that it was okay if I put it on the outside. Because in Virginia, our mailboxes and things, they're not set up the same way. And I see people put things in our mailbox. So like our mailbox is like one big box down the road, kind of like an apartment. And I see people, you know, stick their business cards in them all the time. So I figured, okay, well, that's okay. So I'll just do that, but I'll go to a neighborhood where they have their mailboxes at the end of the driveway, so I can just quickly go stick it on their mailbox. No, girl, that's a federal offense. And don't be like me, because they actually called the cops on me. They called the cops on me, but he was like, he just told me that basically what I was doing is fine, just to make sure that I'm knocking on people's doors. And I didn't get in trouble or fined. He was just saying that when they call, they have to check it out. And yeah, so don't be like me. Definitely do door hangers, or if you're gonna do postcards, make sure that you're, you know, buying the stamps and having them sent out. Plus that's easier. That's another thing I wish I would have known, is like, the cheaper way is not always the better way. I am just going to take the little bit more expensive route and have mailers sent out. And I'm going to, from now on, if I am going to go door to door, I'm going to make sure that I'm doing door hangers and going all the way up to the door. I just don't have a mentor that's on top of me. So they didn't specify I couldn't put it in the mailbox. So anyway, it was a newbie mistake. And that's a little story time for you guys. So that's another thing that I wish I would have known. Okay, another thing that I did not know before becoming a realtor is, so you can either join a team or you can go into being a realtor as an individual. When I initially figured that out or found that out, I was like, okay, well, I just want to be an individual. You know, I have my baby, I just want to be home. I don't want to have to worry about other people, yada, 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 yada. And then once I got comfortable here in Houston, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna start looking at teams. I did not know that the commission for teams can sometimes be very extremely low, like very cut. So being individual, your split may be, okay, you take home 80 and then they take 20% out of your checks, or a 70-30 or 60-40. But with a lot of the teams that I interviewed, it was like 50-50, 60-40. You start off with 40, we get 60. But I wish I also would have known that even though it is a lower split, it can be very beneficial for new agents. Sometimes I wish I would have started on team, because sure, maybe they would have run me ragged, like, oh, I have to do all their, you know, leg work or whatever since I'm a newbie. But I feel like that's how you learn through experiences. And what I'm looking for now, I'm not really looking for like a super team where you tell me, like, where it feels like it's a 9-to-5 job. I'm not really looking for that, but I am looking for somebody that can give me that guidance and where I can do their leg work for them, so that I am learning through experiences. So if you find a very good team with a lot of hard-working realtors and you're surrounded by that, I feel like that will help you. If you don't have a good mentor, if you're going to go individual. Had I had a really, really good mentor the whole 2 years, I feel like I would have gotten a lot further. But that's okay, because 2023, we're going to find that right mentor, that right brokerage, and we're going to stay consistent all year, and we're going to really show out. Another thing I wish I would have known before becoming a realtor, and I wish I could tell myself while I was studying, is everything is not going to be perfect. You are not going to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes. Like when I went into this and I was in school, I was like, I have to make sure that I don't mess up. I have to make sure that I know everything. If you mess up, like, you know, you can get in trouble. And I mean, that is true. If you mess up like contracts, certain things, you violate this, you violate that, you can get in serious trouble. But you're not going to be perfect. And I feel like had I told myself that or been able to tell myself that going into this career, I feel like I wouldn't have kept burning out. I wouldn't have imposter syndrome or feeling like this and feeling like that, because I'm going to mess up. I'm going to need help. That's how you learn. Like, these people, they act like they're perfect and that they've never done any wrong, and they never, like, that's what they put on social media. Not every realtor is like that, but you know, they see like, oh, I'm just completely perfect, and that's not true. They be messing up, they forget stuff, they do that. And once you learn that you're gonna mess up and that you have to fail to grow. You can't just fail and then sit in your failure. You have to fail to succeed. So if I could have went back and told myself and knew that from the beginning, I feel like I wouldn't have been so stressed out. Of course, I'm always going to strive for perfection or to be great, but there is no such thing as perfect. So I wish I would have known that. Okay, another thing that I didn't know coming into real estate, license is for the whole state. Okay, so I'm in Texas. My license for the whole state of Texas. But when you join a board, when I first originally started and was like, you know, I thought the MLS was for like, it would be for like the entire state. So like I can help anywhere. I can help anything. And that's like, it's foolish on me or whatever. But so I thought that the MLS would be for the whole state, but really it's just for whichever board you join and whatever their radius is. So like in Austin, there was like 2 different boards. There was like Williamson County, and there was, I call it A board, but it was like Austin Board of Realtors or something like that. I can't remember. But when she told me I could pick whichever one, so I joined the Williamson County one, or I think that's what it was called. And then I was like, people were saying like, can you look up this property for me? Can you do this? Can you host this open house? Can you do that? And I was like, I'm sorry, but I cannot see these houses on the MLS. I don't see anything. And then my mentor looked at it and she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, but you're gonna have to join the other board, because I didn't know, like, you literally can't see any properties, because on that MLS you would see like 5 different houses, but all of the houses were on A board, because A board actually stretched out to like, I think it went as far as clean. I remember it seeing going up that far, but don't quote me on that. And it like went really far south, almost to San Antonio, but I don't think I actually seen properties in San Antonio. MLS only stretches as far as it stretches, and I wish I would have known that, because I was thinking, okay, well, I mean, technically you can help wherever, but that also goes into another thing, like you're gonna have to pay for those memberships. So like if you want to work in Dallas, if you want the MLS in Dallas and you want the MLS in Houston and you want the MLS in all these different metropolitans, you're gonna have to pay for all of those, and that is not cheap. Okay, so another thing that I wish I would have known before I became a realtor, or when I just started being a realtor, I had a mentor. She kept saying, yeah, like I really just work through referrals. I really just work through referrals. And I was like, okay, well, I have to meet people to like get referrals. But I wasn't really understanding what she was saying, and I wish I really would have known what she was saying. She wasn't saying like, oh, like talk to people and they're gonna refer you, which is, I mean, that is one way. What she's saying is that she'll have a client and she refers them out to another agent, and that agent pays them a percentage for the referral. Somebody comes to you and they're like, hey, I want to move to Round Rock, or I want to move to Katy, but you know another realtor that works primarily in that Katy area. Instead of driving 2 hours all the time to Katy, you refer them to that agent, and then that agent will in return pay you anywhere from 15 to 30% of whatever, you know, whatever they sell or whatever they lease, whatever that is. And she was saying she primarily works through that, and I wish I would have known that, because I feel like instead of busting my tail 24/7, I still could have got paid. I'm not gonna say I regret busting my tail though, for certain, because even if I didn't get the sale or even if I didn't get a lease, I always learned something. So from each transaction, from each person I met, I've always learned something new, learned something that I didn't know before. And I really believe that you learn through experiences. I don't regret it, but I wish I would have known that, because I could have referred somebody that was an hour or 2 away from me when I was working in Austin, because I haven't had that happen here, but in Austin, I would be driving like an hour out, and I could have just simply referred that to another agent that was closer to that agent, to that area, and I still would have gotten paid. So remember that you can work through referrals, you still get paid for referrals. But if you are absolutely willing and able and have no problem driving out 2-3 hours from where you stay to get like a lease or to get a sale or to get that money, honey. Okay, another thing that I did not know is that you have to put your brokerages, at least what I was told and where I'm at, you have to put your brokerage's logo on basically every single thing that you do. Like technically Trek wants you to put it on like anything that's marketing or anything that has to do with like real estate, you have to put it up there. Because I was under the impression like, okay, yes, I joined this brokerage, but I want to have my own branding because, you know, I'm an individual agent. So you can have your own branding, you can do your own logo, you can, you know, make something that you are known for. You are able to do that. But according to Trek, they want you to put your brokerage's logo on every single thing. So like it has to be on your business card, it has to be on your social media posts, it has to be, I think it has to be in your videos or something like that, or it has to, the name has to be somewhere. And I did not know that, and I wish I would have known that, because it would make me more cautious about who I'm aligning myself with. Because if my brand colors are black and green, because those are my favorite colors, EXP has logos that fit that brand, so I never really have a problem. But with like other people where they only have like certain colors, or they have like this big old ugly logo that doesn't really look good with your aesthetic, you know, you might want to think about that. So that's something that I knew. If you know otherwise, or you know something different, please leave it in the comments. But that's what I was told, and I did not know that when I first started. So I was like not doing that, and thank God we're still here. And then the last one, which is very, very important to me, and I feel like it will help a lot of new agents, because after I learned it, it helped me. So there are realtors that are super, super busy. They have that clientele, they have that drive, they have that network that keeps them busy. They're busy all the time. They're going to this open house, they're doing this, they're going to this listing appointment. A lot of the stuff that you see on TV, a lot of the stuff that you see on YouTube, a lot of the stuff that you see on social media in general, is just not true. It's very easy to make yourself look busy. I've learned that. Like, I'll have like a busy day and I show y'all, but the next day I'm chilling, and then people automatically assume I'm busy. But I'm quick to tell you, no. If I am, I will tell you, but if I'm not, I'm not gonna lie about being busy. But my point is, not all realtors are as busy as they look. So that is why it's very important not to compare yourself. And that was my problem. I was comparing myself to people that have been in the business 7 years, 10 years. They've had time to build up a big clientele. They've had time to grow and to learn all these things. Only really had the chance to work for a year out of those 2 years. And I'm sitting here comparing to myself to somebody that's been doing this for 10 years and lived through God knows what has happened through real estate. And even those people that have been working that long, some of them are simply just not as busy as they make it seem on social media. Some of them, not all of them. There are people that are full-time, super busy, and those are the people that I look up to and that inspire me. But anyway, my point of saying that not all realtors are busy is that it's okay to sit down. My problem is, and like I said, this is what made me burn out in the beginning, which is why I said it's really important for new agents like me. If you have nothing to do, like you've already prospected for the day, you've already done showings for the day, you've already did absolutely everything that you can do in that moment, it's okay to sit down. It's okay to relax. Like, they're not, the people that are doing that, no. Like, you can go to sleep and you can wake up the next day and you can start again. It's okay for me to sit down with my daughter. I'm not worthless or less worthy of being a realtor. I'm not as good as a realtor if I cut my day off at 5 o'clock. My problem is that I felt like I had to be going 24/7. I had to be busy 24/7. And even though some of the times that did call for that, when it did not call for that and I was not busy, then I started getting depressed, like, oh, I'm not doing good, I'm not doing this. And that's not true. Sit down. It's okay to sit down. How else are you gonna be the best you if you don't take a break, if you don't look back and see what you've done, if you don't take the time to reflect? And that was my problem. I would be up, like I told you guys before, I would be up from 7 o'clock in the morning and I wouldn't go to sleep till like 3-4 o'clock in the morning, because I was so busy, like on social media, trying to figure out how to post this, trying to learn this, trying to watch this YouTube video, commenting on every post that I can to make sure that like my name is getting out there. And although that is good, you have to give yourself breaks or else you're going to burn out. So like if you're going to do that, like do what I do, where you just basically stalk social media and comment on everything and tag yourself on everything and do all these things and just genuinely go on social media and try and make friends with other people so that you can get your name out there. And do it from, I don't know, 8 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock and take a break and go do something else and go do something else and go in person and talk to people and give yourself a break. That's just the main thing that I wish I would have known, and what I wish I would have told myself is like, yes, work hard, grind as hard as you can, but don't let it eat you up, because that's what happened my first year. Like I was going 24/7. I had a newborn and I felt like the first year of her life just passed me by because I just was so constantly, it was like I was like addicted to it. And yeah, so just learning balance so that you don't burn yourself out is like really important. And that's what I'm going to be strict about going into 2023, is being disciplined, having a schedule for myself, making sure that I'm being consistent but not stalkerish. I don't know how else to put that. So yeah, that's a couple things that I wish I knew before becoming a realtor. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe so you can see more videos like these. Bye.